let's go ahead and get started. So hi everyone, welcome to our DTools payment webinar. So glad you could join us. Our team has been hard at work and we're very excited to share more about DTools payments and how it can simplify your payment collection process. Presenting today, you have me, Chanel Spence, Director of Sales for DTools Cloud, and I'll be joined by Adam Holden, Head of Payments. Adam brings over 10 years of payment experience and has successfully launched several integrated payment solutions. Welcome, Adam.
Thank you so much, Chanel. I'm very excited to be here.
Awesome, awesome. All right. So before we get started, just a little bit of housekeeping. In the control panel to the right of your screen, you will see a questions panel. There you can type questions during the presentation and we'll do our best to answer them as we go. There will also be a dedicated time for Q&A at the end of the demonstration. Also, if the control panel is taking up too much of your viewing real estate, you can use the orange arrow at the top to dock it. And then don't worry if you miss anything, the webinar will be recorded and available in our resource center. For those joining us for the first time, I'll share a little bit about who we are as a company and what to expect with DTools Cloud. And then Adam's going to cover all things DTools payments and provide you guys with an awesome demonstration. Since 1998, DTools has been the market-leading software provider in our industry. We've helped thousands of system integrators and technology professionals streamline their daily workflow and become more efficient through the use of our software. We remain committed to your success and laser focused on continuous improvement. DTools Cloud is an easy-to-use end-to-end solution designed to help grow your business revenue. Our goal is to speed up your quoting process, make it easy for your clients to sign your contracts, and reduce the amount of software you use daily so your processes become more streamlined. And DTools Payment is just another example of that. All right, so at this time, let's hand it over to Adam for a deep dive into DTools Payments.
Thank you, Chanel. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I'm very excited to go over DTools Payments and how we're going to be able to help you all be able to collect payments from your customers smoothly, efficiently, and get you paid faster. So what is DTools Payments? It is our own fully embedded payment processing system. It is not an integration. As we said, it is embedded, so we've gone a step further than an integration, meaning that there isn't any sort of third-party portals that you're going to have to sign into. There's any sort of external reporting that you're going to have to reconcile with DTools Cloud. Everything is going to be built in for you, making sure that it is a seamless process from payment collection all the way to tracking the deposits into your bank account. Another plus about having this embedded and being able to control this from end to end, we have our own onboarding, which is a lot simpler than most likely anything that anybody else has ever gone through when applying for merchant services or payment processing. And we take that a step further with making sure that all of our pricing is very transparent. There isn't anything hidden. We make sure that we really let you guys know what is going to be expected of the payment, and that's going to be it. There's anything like hidden interchange fees or extra fees that may pop up in other merchant service platforms. And again, being fully embedded, we're able to bring everything into DTools Cloud, really enhancing that end-to-end experience for everybody. A really, really cool feature that we released actually last Tuesday is the ability to automate your cash flow. All right, so meaning that you can have payments running monthly for your service contracts or anything else like that in the background, making sure that you're able to collect the money and not have to go out, chase people, and really take time away from doing what everybody really wants to do, which is, being the, being able to make sure that we're doing the things, like I said, that we want to do, focusing on our work, not focusing on collecting money, and making sure that we're really automating all of that in the background for you. So that's actually something I'm going to be touching on once we do a little bit of demo. So I'm really excited to be able to show everybody that. Now, being embedded, we also have all of our notifications coming into the system, as well as being sent out by email. So you're in the know from start to finish, like I was saying, from being able to collect your money and being able to be notified once that money reaches your bank account, and the expectations of what should be deposited into your bank account, giving you all of that control. And a really neat piece about this is that when you do get a notification, whether that be by email or the notification center, it's going to bring you directly to that transaction in question, or that error that may have occurred. We give you the ability to track things like declined payments, ACH rejects, just in case a check bounces, all the way to chargeback maintenance, making sure that you're again in the know and that we're there to help you from start to finish, making sure that you have a great experience and your clients also have a great experience. Now, with our reporting, things like transactional reports and deposit reports that you used to have to go outside of the system to be able to pull in and reconcile either between D-Tools Cloud, between the payment processor and QuickBooks and Xero. Again, we've put all that in here for you. That way you can really focus in one system and make sure that you're focusing on just that one system and not having to learn or reconcile in anything else. And also, because this is our own product, all of our help desk articles, and also support is all inside of the system, meaning that the individuals that you're used to working with in the support and with your account manager, with your customer success reps, they are able to help you and not have to be able to pass you off to any sort of third parties. Again, giving us the control, giving you all the peace of mind, and making sure that we're, again, giving you the best experience possible, and also ways to be able to help yourselves if you find that maybe that's the way that you want to go rather than talking to someone directly. Now, obviously, security, very, very important thing. I have been asked over the past meetings I've had about PCI compliance and things like that, especially in this industry. We've built everything to be as compliant as possible. We adhere to all the industry standards. We're at PCI compliance. That way, all of your data is safe. Using end-to-end tokenization to make sure that no data could ever be taken or leaked or anything else like that. And again, really giving you that peace of mind. It's a good couple of things that I've been repeating here. But again, it's really giving you all that control. That way you can focus on the end goal. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch over my screen to my D-Tools Payments account. That way I can show you guys exactly what we've been working with, and that way you can see a little demo here. So what I'm going to show you here is our billing tab, which is really that global area to where you're going to be able to see your payment requests, see anything that may need attention, payment requests that are due, and also your payment requests that have been paid. So you're going to be able to see here that we can see all our projects, our service contracts, our service calls, and we're able to filter these by date, also due date, and also statuses to make sure that you have the control and know what's actually happening with your requests and with the payments that are coming in from your customers. Now, in the global setting that we have here, we're able to make all of our payment requests directly from this page, right? So, we want to go ahead and do a new payment request here. I'm gonna, click on one of the projects that we have going on, and let's bill someone for some pre-wire materials. All right, so I'm gonna check that off, hit next. And what we can see here is that this is the normal payment request that everyone is used to seeing. But down here, we have DTools payments, and we give you the control of selecting what type of payment method you will be presenting to your customer. Again, giving you that control of how you would like to be paid and be able to present that to the customer. And, we're able just to send this directly out to the customer. They can make the payment, and you're going to get a notification. Your client will get a notification, and that way everybody is in the know of where that payment request stands and being able to move forward, from that point. Now, once this payment is made, and that's going to be any payment on proposals, on contracts, on payment requests for progress payments, and also finalization, those are all going to flow into this dashboard here. And then we can go over to the transactional report that, again, usually you would have to go outside of the system, pull down that information, and then come back in and then reconcile that. So what we've done, we pull all that in, and we can see all of the payment details that we are sending and collecting with that payment to ensure that it's connected into all the right places, and that reconciliation on your behalf will be a breeze. We can see here that we know exactly what project, change order, call, or contract this payment was for, what the term was for, the client that it's attached to, the individual who paid it, and then all of the normal information that you're used to seeing, like the paid date, the time, the amount, as also the payment method, whether that be credit card or ACH. And we're able to get a little bit more detail by clicking into that transaction. And we can see some more pertinent information, like the billing fee directly here in front of you in a dollar amount instead of a percentage, and the net that you would expect to see coming from that payment. And then we do have all the information down here. That way you're able to see, what this payment was for and all of the data that we're sending with it. And also from, really living by that end-to-end system that we have here. We also have the deposit tab, which will allow you to track the payment from settlement all the way to the deposit in your bank account. Now, the really cool piece about this is that we have an email that will go out to you, letting you know that the money is on the way to your bank account. And also when the money will be available, it will be deposited by the end of that day. Again, really giving you that control and peace of mind that you know where your money is at any point during that process. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a little walkthrough of the onboarding process that we've created. That way you can kind of get a feel of what that looks like, what would be necessary to be able to complete the DTools payments application. We have this very nice walkthrough here. Now, the one thing that you will notice when DTools payments is available in your account to sign up, you'll see that in the settings. So underneath account, you'll see DTools payments as its own setting, and it'll be able to surface the application for you. It's as simple as hitting the Setup Now button. Now, what we've done is we have a little visual here of the onboarding checklist, which is also available at our help desk and also in our FAQs as well, just so you can be prepared of what will be necessary to complete this very simple process of signing up for DTools payments. Once we click through that, we're going to be brought to 6 steps. Now, the approximate completion time here is 5 minutes and 30 seconds. I have had people finish this faster. So that's great news for everybody. You can complete this, get back to your day, and we're able to underwrite this and get you guys approved and activated as quickly as possible. The average time that we're usually seeing is about 24 hours. Some of these smaller accounts we're actually able to approve the same day. That way we can get you up and running, collecting payments, and get. Now, we can see here, very simple information that's needed: first name, last name, business email. A lot of this information is actually going to be pre-filled for you to make this even easier. We just ask that, just make sure that you double check that to ensure the proper information that you would like on there is on there. And then we're going to go into our business details, legal name, the tax ID, the phone number, and the website. Very simple. And then jumping directly over to where would you like your money deposited? Very important thing to have. So, it's very easy just to add the bank account. And then what we would do is that we would go to review. Everything would be reviewed. You'd submit this, and then it will bring you right back to the settings. Now, when we do have the settings open here, when we do have the settings open and everything is approved, you get all of these awesome options to be able to control how you would like D-Tools payments to operate. We have a global setting here of the payment methods that you would like to set as a default, making sure, again, you have the control of how you would like to present that to your client. Now, this is a global setting, so you did see when we were making the payment requests earlier that you also have that control to show those payment methods. That way you can make those adjustments on the fly. We also provide you some email templates. That way you're able to really customize this, make this your own. You can have templates for the payment requests, as we can see here. You also have the payment received email that your customer will receive. And again, you can customize this, using our merge fields, bringing in that information from the contact and the project, ensuring that the customer knows all of the pertinent information after they have made that payment. And a really, really neat feature, as I was saying before, is the auto pay. Now we allow you to customize the auto pay reminder. And some of you may be familiar with this if you have, your cell phone bill on auto pay or anything else like that. You do get a reminder days prior to that run-in. That way you can make any sort of changes. We allow the customer to be able to make changes to their payment on file. That way, if they want to be able to update their credit card, update their bank account prior to that payment being ran, they can do so. And then the payment would run on the agreed upon date between you and your customer. Now, when it does come to managing the automatic payment collection, we give you the ability to see all of the enrollments of your customers that are in AutoPay, rather than having to search contract by contract and seeing who is actually on that AutoPay enrollment. Here, you can see everybody. You can also make changes to the AutoPay. Again, really giving you that control without really having to leave the system. Again, giving you that at your fingertips. And then what I'm going to show here is I'm going to show a little walkthrough of what the AutoPay looks like. That way we can kind of get a feel of that prior to accessing it, and signing up. So here we're going to go into the service where we have our contracts. And once we do pull up that contract, what we're going to be able to see is the automatic request. This is a new feature that's been surfaced. And what we're going to do, you can enable that. And when you're setting up the payment schedule, this is where you're going to be able to put, the month, the billing date, all of that along with the amounts. And then what we're going to make sure that we do is we turn on AutoPay. That way, when the client is presented with this, they're able to make that and then also put it on file for them. So we set up the automation. we're about to send this out. We send it out to the client. They're going to click that little box inside the email and they'll be brought to this payment request. Now, what we can see here is that there's two options presented to them. One, which is enroll in autopay, and then the other one for the one-time payment. Now, again, some individuals may not want to be on autopay, so they do have that option to be able to choose. But when they do enroll, they're going to click off on enroll in autopay. They'll choose between credit card or bank transfer. It's also known as ACH or e-check. Those are all the same things. They'll enter their credentials. And then once they accept that, they will see this little box here that the autopay has been enabled, along with the credit card or bank account that they have put on file, the next payment date, and the amount of that payment. That way they know exactly what they're getting into, exactly what they're paying for, and when those payments would be expected to come off of their credit card or their bank account. Just making it very, very simple for everybody, and also really focusing on making sure that you as the business is protected from collecting any sort of information like credit card numbers or bank account numbers over the phone. The client will enter all of that themselves. That way, again, you don't have to collect any sort of that sensitive data and possibly have anything happen to that. And that was a little walkthrough of D-Tools payments. It's very simple. As we were saying in the beginning, this is not an integration. It's a fully embedded feature of D-Tools Cloud, putting it all in the areas that you're used to seeing, payment requests and everything else like that, making it super easy, super understandable, and just making sure, again, you get those payment requests out, get paid as quickly as possible, being able to complete those jobs and moving on to the next one without worrying about getting paid.
Fantastic. Thank you for that wonderful demo, Adam. We're super excited about it. All right, so questions are coming in and we'll do our best to answer. All right, so Adam, we have question number one. So to clarify, we can kick QuickBooks to the curb?
So I wish the answer was yes all around. I've been hearing that a lot in my meetings, but you would still need to have QuickBooks for your back office accounting, for bookkeeping, for reporting purposes, tax purposes. But if you are using QuickBooks payments, that is something, yes, you could kick to the curb and only use D-Tools payments to be able to streamline that payment process for you and your customers.
All right, thank you. Next question that we have, they have some complicated stuff going on. I have two accounts for the business when we collect deposit on project funds. Deposits, period. On project funds, they go to one account and then the final payment goes to another account. Is it easy to manage two different accounts for funds?
So at the moment, it is going to be one bank account that everything will be collected for and deposited to. But I can definitely make sure that we take note of that specific situation and look into, possibly expanding that down the road to multiple accounts.
Awesome. All right. Can we accept different payment methods depending on the transaction?
Yes. So you are able to choose that payment method prior to those requests going out. So if you wanted to only surface the ability for someone to pay by credit card, you would have that control, or vice versa. If you wanted to only have them pay by ACH, you could do that as well. And then in my meetings, I have ran across some large integrators who may have some fairly large deposits that maybe they would like to use wires for, and you would actually be able to select to turn off D-Tools payments and add a message in there saying that you could send a wire and put those instructions in there as well.
Awesome. I'm not sure I quite understand this question, but if I'm interpreting it incorrectly, we might just need some more clarification. But the question is, can you add the ability to write basic invoices, even estimates? I'm not sure I understand that one.
Yeah, we may want to just
We'll
collect
circle
a
back to
little more
that.
information about that.
But we
Yeah,
do have the
definitely.
capability to create estimates, and now this is that payments piece. But look forward to more clarification there. All right, next question. Is there a workaround for setting up recurring payments on our end? Is there a workaround?
I mean, we do give the ability for setting up automated recurring payments directly inside of DTools Cloud now, instead of having to use another system like QuickBooks or a third-party processor. Um, but I wouldn't know of any workarounds for that. But I would definitely love to chat about that and get a little bit more clarification around that.
All right. What if the client wants to pay with a check?
Yeah, if the client wants to pay with a paper check, they can definitely still do so. They would follow the same procedures that they normally would. Whether that be writing the check and putting it in the mail, or having to go pick it up at the site. But when you do that, we would just make sure that we go into that payment request after it's been collected and make it marked as paid, and put a note on the account that a paper check was collected for that payment.
Awesome, awesome. Does this integrate with QuickBooks Desktop? So yes, DTools Cloud does have a QuickBooks Desktop integration. And maybe the question there, Adam, is the impact that DTools Payments has on QuickBooks.
Yeah. So right now it would all work the exact same way with pushing out these payment requests manually over to QuickBooks, and then marking it as paid when you do receive that payment. But we do have some really neat QuickBooks enhancements that are going to be coming out once we get back from CEDIA. That's going to help automate some of those processes.
Thank you. Next question. Will there be enhanced rights management or maybe permissions to govern who has access to the billing tab?
That is something that we were working on in the granular permissions, and we can definitely send an update when those will be released.
All right. Can the processing fees be added to the bills so the customer pays those fees?
Yes, the important question. So this is something that we are working on. We had a great meeting about it yesterday, and we will start again once we get back from CEDIA, ensuring client manner and ensuring that we're passing all of that pertinent information, like the fees and all of that, over to the cardholder to absorb that rather than the business absorbing that fee.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, this is an initial release. We're going to get it out the door, get it operational, and then the team is going to be working on a slew of iterations for these, more in-depth or deep use cases for sure. All right. Are there any additional costs other than the transaction fees?
Other than the transaction fees, there is a small deposit fee of 20 cents, and that covers moving the money from your DTools Payments merchant account into your bank account.
Awesome. Next question. Can the payment request be sent via text message or email only?
So at the moment with D-Tools payments, it's going to be sent out via email. And we have made some great improvements to make that mobile optimized. That way, when someone does want to pay from their phone, they can just simply open up that from their email. And we've also added the benefit of having Apple Pay available in there as well. So for the individuals
Awesome.
who would like to pay on their phone and utilize that wallet system, they could do so. We are making some enhancements down the road for text to pay. We're just seeing what that would take, especially with making sure that we're keeping all of that payment data private. When sending that over a text message.
Awesome. Thank you. And could you clarify what those ACH and credit card processing fees are?
Yes. So for Visa, MasterCard, and Discover, that rate is 2.95% and 30 cents per transaction. For American Express payments, those are at 3.5% and 30 cents per transaction. And for ACH or eCheck, that is going to be at 1% with a $10 cap, simply meaning that you'll never pay any more than $10 for that ACH payment.
Fantastic. Next question. Are there auto reminder emails for unpaid or outstanding invoices, or only the auto pay reminders?
Now, in the email notifications, there are reminders. Those are for 7 days and past due. And then we could possibly look at adding some more reminders in there, but they'll be the same reminders that were underneath those email notifications for payment requests.
Cool. They're warming up, Adam. Questions are coming in like crazy.
This is great.
We're just getting started.
This is my favorite part.
So I think you touched on this before, but just to clarify, does this finally enable our service technicians to take payments in the field?
So so they would still have to send out the payment request via D-Tools Cloud. But with the text to pay that we're looking at, that would be an easy way for someone to be able to send a payment request directly through a text message, possibly while they're out in the field or after they've completed the job. But those are enhancements that we are looking at.
Awesome. So right now, the payment request would still come from the office user, and on a future iteration, we'll working towards the text to pay. Got it. All right. What does the invoicing look like for change orders? Can they be added to original payment schedules or like merged, or will they have to be billed separately?
So at the moment, everything is separate, but with the invoice enhancements that are coming out, we will have the ability to pay for multiple items in one payment.
Got it. All right. Can you just reiterate a little bit about how does this work with QuickBooks? There's a lot of questions around.
Sure. The one thing to note here is that D-Tools Cloud is integrated, via our QuickBooks connector, and that will be able to push the information, with the invoices, payment requests, things like that, over as you do right now. But as I said earlier, we're making those QuickBooks enhancements to automate a lot of that to make sure that we're removing any of those manual processes as much as we possibly can.
Awesome. All right, these are getting long. I'm reading. Is there a setting that will automatically charge a set credit card fee when accepting payments?
That will be coming out in the enhancement. That will all be underneath the ability to be able to pass along that fee for credit card usage over to the cardholder. So that would all be looped into that to ensure that that's being added automatically without any sort of manual intervention.
Got it. Thank you. Is there an ACH account verification that the client will experience, such as test deposits of 23 cents that they have to verify?
Nope. This is fairly simple. They're just entering their account number and routing number, and then it will pull from their bank accounts. There isn't any need for any sort of advanced verification on their end.
All right. You may have already covered this, but is this US only and not available in Canada?
Yes, so this would be, it would be US only, and that would be, United States only. There wouldn't be any sort of territories involved in that at this point in time. So we wouldn't be able to process for Puerto Rico or any of those other territories that would be out there at the current moment.
All right. Is indirect transfer available as a payment method?
So Interact is only available in Canada. It's actually their own internal bank-to-bank transfer system. So that would be a Canadian feature. So that wouldn't be available in the United States.
Got it. Will e-checks be available?
Yes, so ACH, e-check, electronic check, bank transfer, all of those would fall underneath ACH. They're just all different names that individuals call that. So that would be included underneath the ACH umbrella.
Are there any limitations to transaction amounts, if any?
Mm-hmm. So what we do is we have the initial underwriting process to where we'll be asking for your average transaction amount, your max transaction amount, as well as the average monthly transaction amounts that you'll be collecting. The important thing to know is that there aren't any hard caps on these limits. So unlike, I know some individuals may have signed up with ProPay in the past and dealt with some very low transaction limits, and it would decline anything over that. That would not happen here. We're never going to stop you from collecting a payment.
Perfect. All right. Can we group several payment requests into a single billing event?
Yep. So that would be with the invoice enhancements that we do have coming out down the road.
All right. Are transaction fees predetermined, or do we enter those amounts?
The transaction fees are predetermined. And again, just to reiterate that for everybody, so it's for Visa, MasterCard, and Discover. That is 2.95% and 30 cents. American Express is going to be 3.5% and 30 cents per transaction. And for our ACH, e-check, electronic check, whichever anybody wants to call that, that's 1% with a $10 cap, simply meaning that you will not pay more than $10 for that ACH transaction. And all of those are also available on the settings page once DTools Payments is activated and approved on your cloud account.
All right, thank you. Okay. And I'm going through some of these questions are super detailed, so if we don't get an opportunity to to address those here and now. We will definitely follow up with you offline. And I'm going to also place Adam's meeting link in the chat. And that way, for those that are interested in moving forward or just have questions about setting up D-Tools payments, you can schedule some time with him and really dig in and make sure that you guys are knowledgeable and comfortable with the integration. Okay. Can we turn off the ACH?
Yes. So you can set your preferred payment method in the settings, or prior to sending out that payment request, you're able to select which payment method you would like to show to your client. So if you only wanted to show credit card, you can do so. Or if you only wanted to show ACH, you can do that as well.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right. Will it be possible to add the credit card processing fee to the invoice if the client selects credit card over ACH?
That wouldn't be able to be done automatically at the current moment. That will be the enhancement that we have coming out down the road for automatically applying that the fee over to the cardholder. But technically there wouldn't be anything from stopping you to add that manually on your own end.
Cool. Can a separate payment link be created which can be sent in an email outside of D-Tools?
No, that wouldn't be able to happen. That's all connected inside of D-Tools Cloud, utilizing the system. So you wouldn't just be able just to create a link. It is all tied back to the customer, to the record, as well as the project and that specific payment request.
Cool, understandable. What is the processing time before a payment is deposited into our account?
Great question. So for credit cards, those will be on a next business day funding schedule. So you accept a payment on Monday, you will see that payment deposited into your bank account on Tuesday by the end of the day. And for ACH payments, we are currently on a 4-day funding schedule. And so if you take that payment on Monday, you'll see that payment in your bank account on Friday by the end of the day. The important thing to understand about that is that I understand, QuickBooks, there's also some other larger companies out there that may provide ACH transactions on a deposit for next day scheduling. The thing to know about that is that an average ACH payment takes between 3 to 5 days to clear the institutions. So anything faster than that is actually the business fronting you that money. And if any sort of negatives may happen, insufficient funds or possibly a bank account not found because maybe someone, flipped a number or maybe, added an extra number, that money would essentially have to be pulled back out of the account. So when we do deposit that money on that 4th day, that money is yours. It has cleared all institutions and you don't have to worry about anything coming out of your bank account.
Awesome. Okay, next question. We create our billings in QuickBooks and use QuickBooks Payments to receive online payments. What about D-Tools Payments makes it worth sending a separate payment request through D-Tools?
Yeah, so it wouldn't necessarily have to be a separate payment request, considering that you would be, creating the proposal or creating the payment request inside of D-Tools Cloud now. So the best part about that is, the request goes out or the proposal goes out and they're prompted to make the payment immediately utilizing D-Tools payments. So there may be a change in workflow that may benefit your business by doing everything out of D-Tools Cloud. And then utilizing QuickBooks, again, for that, back office accounting, taxes, bookkeeping, and end of year reporting.
Thank you. So a question, I might have missed it in the webinar, but I don't see an option on my dashboard to activate payments. Could you kind of walk them through how to access that?
So on the, let me just go here. So on the billing page, you should see, well, actually mine's already set up, but there would be a green button here that would allow you to schedule a meeting with myself. What would happen is prior to that meeting, we would surface the D-Tools payments application on the settings page. And we would walk through that together to ensure that you don't have any questions and make sure that we're entering the proper information on there to get the account approved in the quickest amount of time.
All right, thank you. All right, I'm just trying to sift through a lot of great minds, people saying the same thing in a different way. Especially on the fees. So we covered that. And again, guys, we're going to be posting the recording in our resource center. Probably give us a couple days and it'll be live and everyone can access the content and share it internally. All right. Yep.
Also, if you go to the terms and conditions for D-Tools Cloud and D-Tools Payments, the fees are also listed there as well.
Good to know. Good to know. Another one about installers being able to see if clients have balances due. I don't think so, right? Not at this stage.
Can we
they want to know
clarify
if an installer will be able to see if a client has an outstanding balance.
So I know from the project overview page, you would be able to see all the payments that were collected and any outstanding.
Right, but not a technician at this time. I think that's going to be.
Oh, specific. Okay, Understood.
All right. Is that 20 cents deposit fee per transaction or once daily?
It would only be charged if you have money in your D-Tools payments merchant account. So if you didn't, let's say maybe it's Saturday and there weren't any monies collected, there wouldn't be any fee or a deposit fee that would be charged, considering there wouldn't be any money to move.
Got it. Ooh. Yeah, some of these longer ones, guys, I promise you we'll follow up and take these offline. And again, I just dropped the link to Adam's calendar if you're interested in scheduling a call and having a deeper conversation, a more specific conversation. We're happy to do so. Okay, I have a pay now option on our website. Can this be integrated into D-Tools payment somehow? Happy to discuss offline.
Yeah, at the current moment, we do not offer any sort of hosted payment pages to be able to tie back into D-Tools Cloud and attach it to the proper and customers and things like that. But that is something that we can talk about implementing down the road.
All right. Will the payment request just have a total amount, or will it detail the items in the proposal the client signed?
So at the current moment, it will be the total amount on the payment request. But again, with the invoice enhancements that we've been working on, that would be allowing them to be able to see, what line items are there. And we've also played around with the thought of, adding a link to be able to go back to the original proposal that was agreed upon. That way they'd be able to see, what they've paid and anything that's upcoming.
Thank you. Does the client or customer need to sign an agreement that they accept the credit card fees and or ACH fees?
The
Like,
not the end user, like the person paying, because they're not paying those fees as of now.
All right. Next question, is there an ability to offer a discount if paid within a set time frame, like 2%?
Chanel, I may pass that over to you because I know that there are I have seen discounts inside of DTools Cloud, but that wouldn't be a function
Correct.
of DTools payments.
Yes, correct. You can outline that in the quote, but not dynamically in conjunction with payments. All right. Are there any holdbacks specifically on credit cards?
There wouldn't be any sort of hold periods. I have heard in some of my discussions in the past, like providers like Stripe and others may have some sort of hold on the total amount that would be deposited into your account. But we do not have any sort of holds or anything like that on DTools payments.
Good to know. All right, next question. How will returned checks or insufficient funds be handled?
So great question. So that would all pop up inside of the notification center on the top right-hand side of your DTools Cloud account. You'll be notified by email as well as that notification center. And when you enter the notification center and click on that ACH reject, it will bring you directly to that payment, so you don't have to go searching for it. You'll be brought directly to it.
Next question. Can you show both ACH and credit card options?
Yes, you can.
Okay, cool. So it's not just the one. Okay, another question. Will existing payment integration with Stripe and Card Connect still remain an ongoing feature?
So for anybody that does have those integrations currently running, you would be able to still use those. But a caveat to that, when you do access the DTools payments application prior to even moving into the application, a little alert box will pop up letting you know that if you have a Stripe integration or a ProPay integration or anything else like that, that will be disconnected once DTools payments is approved. It will not cancel the account. It will not close anything. But DTools payments would take that place once applied and approved.
Thank you. How are credits entered into the system? Like if someone has a credit or needs to be credited.
I guess I'm going to need a little bit more clarification.
Yeah, clarification on that one. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll follow up. We'll take that one offline. All right. And there's some more in-depth ones. And I think they would benefit from a one-on-one conversation with you, Adam. So I'm gonna skip over those. And once again mentioned, the link to his calendar is in the chat, so feel free to schedule a meeting. Do we have any insight on when the enhancements will be coming out after this initial wave?
So I know we're focusing on as soon as we get back from CDIA.
Show.
So after that first week of September, I was going to say December. September.
It'll be here before we know it.
You know, yeah, exactly. But just keep your eyes out on the on the release notes that we have through DTools Cloud, and we'll ensure to make sure to update anybody and everybody with those enhancements that will be coming out.
All right. Thank you guys for joining our webinar today. Great questions. We look forward to continuing the conversation about how you can take advantage of DTools payments in conjunction with DTools Cloud. Thanks again for your time, Adam. Really appreciate all the insight.
Thank you, Chanel. It was great. And again, if you all have any questions and want to schedule that one-to-one, just use my calendar link and we'll make sure to answer all of your questions.
Have a great day, everyone.